All right, friends of mathematics, I'm talking about calculus, that's Math 115, section 1.2. And I want to develop today with you a formula for the growth factor of exponential functions. We know that exponential functions are usually of the form y is equal to a times b to the t, where a is our initial value and b is our growth factor. And what I want to do is, given 2 points, let's make a formula. Let's discover. I require all my students to have this formula memorized when we're working together, but the first time we actually make it. And so let's put some points out on the board, and how about we have the point 2, 3, and let's have another point, oh, I don't know, how about 13, 7. And so because we know that these 2 points are on our exponential function, I can really make 2 equations. And my first equation would be 3 is equal to a times b to the second power. And my next equation would be 7 is equal to a times times b to the 13th. So given these 2 equations, I can get rid of the a's by dividing one equation by the other. And while I don't really care which one I'm dividing by the first, I do like to make sure that my exponents are positive. And so I'm going to divide this equation with the 7 and the 13, and that's really where I'm looking, by this other 3 is equal to a times b to the second. We can see that we're just going to get 7/3. We'll have b to the 11th power, and wouldn't you know it, that a and the other a murder occurs, and we're left with 1. Now, how do I get b by itself? I'm going to raise both sides to the 1/11th power. And so 7/3 raised to the 1/11 is equal to my growth factor b. And maybe I went a little bit quick there, but when I have one value, if I have x to the a and I divide that by x to the b, our properties of exponents say that I'm going to have x to the a minus b. Now, what I'd like to do is, let's take a look here. If this is x1 and I have y1 and I call this x2 and y2, we can certainly generalize this formula. And so we can say that b is equal to 7, which was y2, divided by 3, which was y1. And then we raise that to what power? Well, it was 1 over x2, which was 13, minus x1, which was 2. And this right here, my friends, is my magic bus. And I will use this formula to determine the growth factor. And I just think that it's faster to kind of plug and chug and get it than it is to go through this 2 equations, 2 unknown manipulation. Let's do one more very quickly, just to make sure that we're on point. So if I gave us, say, the point 6, 4, and how about 7, 12? If I wanted to know the exponential function between these two, I could do 12 over 4. That's y2 over y1, and that will be raised to the 1 over 7 minus 6. And it turns out my growth factor is 3. Now, I didn't have to pick this one to be x1 or x2 and x1. I could have done it the other way. I could have said 4 over 12 raised to the 1 over 6 minus 7. But as you can see, 6 minus 7, that's going to give me a negative exponent. We would have 1/3 to the negative first, which is exactly the same, just 3. All right, friends, make sure to send me an email if you have a question or concern, and that's HORP. And you know where to go from there. All right, bye for now.